They expected chaos. They expected shouting, tears, and a battle that would feed their hunger for attention. But instead, you gave them silence. You gave them dignity. And that was the one thing they never saw coming. Because dignity, my friend, is louder than drama. It cuts deeper than insults. It lasts longer than anger. And it cannot be twisted into a weapon. When you chose dignity over their games, you shattered the script they had written for you. They were ready for the fight, the spectacle, and the scene, but you walked away. And in that moment, you didn't just win. You took away the only power they thought they had. Walking away wasn't weakness. It was your greatest power move. Drama is their stage. They build it with lies, exaggerations, and manipulations, hoping to trap you under the spotlight. They thrive on conflict because conflict feeds their ego. Every raised voice, every defensive word, every tear you shed, it's all fuel for their performance. They don't want resolution. They don't want peace. They want a show, a constant cycle of chaos that keeps them at the center, feeding off your reactions like oxygen. Without your participation, their script collapses. A fight without an opponent, a stage with no audience. And that emptiness terrifies them more than any insult ever could. Silence is not weakness. It is a weapon sharper than any word. When you chose dignity, you didn't just refuse to fight. You exposed the futility of their chaos. They wanted you to shout, to break, to lose control. But instead, you stood tall and let your calmness speak louder than their noise. That silence unsettled them. It told them, without a single word, that you would not be their puppet, their pawn, or their punching bag. Dignity is power disguised as restraint. It is the strength to value peace over chaos, self-respect over approval. And every time you chose it, you won, not by clashing with them, but by rising above them. And that's what cut them the deepest. Your refusal to play their game. They pushed, they provoked, they tried to drag you into the storm. But every time you stayed calm, every time you walked away, you stole their power. Now their anger burns. Not because you fought back, but because you didn't. They can't stand the sight of you unshaken, untouchable. Your silence became a mirror they couldn't escape, forcing them to face their own insecurities. They wanted chaos. You gave them calm. They wanted control. You gave them nothing, and nothing to them is unbearable, because it means they never had the power they thought they did. The moment you chose dignity, the balance shifted. What they thought was strength, noise, chaos, manipulation crumbled when you refused to engage. Their weapons only worked if you accepted the battle. Without your response, every insult, every trap, every performance fell flat. That's when they realized the truth. The power was never theirs. It was yours all along. By walking away, you proved that control doesn't belong to the loudest voice, but to the calmest presence. Their drama became their own burden to carry, while you rose above it, untouchable. They didn't lose the fight. They lost the game entirely. Your silence didn't end with that moment. It echoes. Every step you take forward, every smile, every success is a reminder of what they lost when you refused to sink to their level. They replay it in their minds, wondering how their games failed, why their control slipped through their fingers. Your dignity became their mirror, showing them everything they lack: self-respect, restraint, true strength. And that truth stings. It haunts them because they know they couldn't break you. They couldn't drag you down. While they remained trapped in cycles of chaos, you moved forward, free, proving that dignity isn't just a choice, it's liberation. In the end, choosing dignity over drama was not just a decision, it was your greatest power move. You didn't need to fight to prove your strength. You proved it by walking away, by valuing your peace over their chaos, by refusing to be reduced to their level. Drama fades, noise disappears, but dignity lasts. It follows you forward, shaping a life built on respect, clarity, and quiet strength. So remember this, in a world addicted to conflict, the most powerful act is not to shout louder, but to rise higher. The crown of peace belongs to those who choose dignity.